This is a video response to the hashtag Let's Be Tarot Friends, started by Tarot is Magic. So let's be Tarot friends and let's get to it. I enjoyed the drawing most of all, and also the coloring as well. I like to see a personality of the artist behind. I like to see a connection between that and myself. More of the same. I like to be represented by the deck. I like to find a connection with it as to make better readings and to provide excitement and fun for both myself and the querents. Well, I just got the Erotic Tarot by Milo Manara. Milo Manara is an artist that I respect, and I hear that the Erotic Tarot by Manara is a little bit of a different system, so I will have to peruse it to see what it's all about. I'm interested in all the cards, but I also enjoy seeing what the Fool card looks like. But yeah, the Magician is the card that always is up front. Probably not just because of one card, because I understand that I can't expect to like every single thing from an artist. Probably just because of one card I wouldn't. But if it's really a problem, and if I don't really feel the vibe or the style of the artist, yes, of course I would tend to use that deck less, or not use it, or just pass on it. This is a bit of an unfair question, but if I have to pick, well, my favorite card would be the High Priestess, and just in general as a card. And my least favorite could be the Hangman. For Hangman, nobody likes him. My partner, she encourages me and she supports me in every way. Other friends, they don't find it as exciting, or they don't think it's a big of an issue. I haven't felt criticism or any adversity from people. I respect it a lot. I respect it a great deal. To each his own, or to each her own. And I have a notion that the esoteric, although there's a whole lot of theory, I think it goes beyond theory, and it's more of an experience and an inner working, more than just a discourse. I like all of the systems all the same. I like to explore each one of them at their own time, and I want to learn about each of them more, and I like them all just the same. It makes no difference. For me, it's more about the feel of the card. It's more of a tactile experience about whether they shuffle good, or they feel silky, or they feel the quality is something to be felt. It's also, you can also see it, and it's also, you can hear it as well if it if it makes a nice sound when they're shuffling, when they're smacked together, or the weight they have on the hand. It's something interesting too. So it's more of a sensory experience rather than an intellectual thing for me. I would say neither. I like the boxes, and I just keep them on the shelf with the covers on it to look at them and to have them on display, and because they're beautiful artworks. But I find it unpractical, especially for the decks that I go too often, to bring them out of the boxes and back in, because the boxes start to fall apart and the flaps break and the cardboard starts to tear. So I don't like boxes for that reason, for the tarots that I'm in constant use. And bags, I don't really use them because the tarot tends to be loose. I feel they start to get eroded with the contact if it's not tight. So I tend, or what I use is handkerchiefs or bandanas, and I wrap them, the decks, in a special way that I have, so they end up really nice and tight and protected. And then I can put them in a bag. As a kid, from the new age parents, let's say it was a thing that it was around, just like other things, alternative things, the astrology, all those things that were pastimes or were interests in the culture for the young people or younger people in the 70s, 80s. There was an Egyptian tarot deck which was very popular throughout South America. That's still very popular around where I live, more popular than the Marseille and more popular than the Rider-Waite. It was the Egyptian Tarot, more of a mystical approach, because that was the timing from the New Age. And later on, more people, some friends and girlfriends and people that you know was around. Since I come from an art background, the pictures and the visual language is not so much of a mystery to me. So it's just natural to make the transition to start, reading. It's just like I would read any picture, any painting, any comic book, a storyboard. It's kind of the same, and only that it has this mystical side. And I started to get more serious about a few years back, and reading more about it and watching videos and getting all sorts of material and talking to people. And finally, when I really started learning was when I started really laying cards and interpreting them, both for myself as a practice and really for other people to help them. We'll reverse it, and it's not the best news I've heard about lately, because I really heard bad news lately. Just 2 months ago on May 7th, a teacher, a tarot reader, a master of the tarot, a giant, a legend in the tarot, who was or is Vince Pitisci, passed away. And that's sad news. So in this case, I cannot say there's a great news, just a heartfelt sad news. And my condolences to Vince's family, friends, his students. Just, it's a great loss for the community and for the world in general. He was such a endearing man, very generous, very down to earth, very approachable. In respects to the tarot, he wrote a few books. He has a channel on YouTube. You can still watch his videos. You can study the system he proposed with conceptual blending, which I myself use. He was one of the great names, one of the all stars of all the time in tarot. So that's something that's going on as news in the tarot circle. So yeah, Vince Pitisci, great teacher, great man. Maybe in this miniature version of Los Carabel, maybe the Sola Busca, and the miniature version also of the Oswald Wirth Tarot. Maybe those two. Maybe the CBD, or one of those, classic tarots. Maybe I'm after the Grimaud Tarot, the 1930 Paul Marteau Tarot. That'd be nice to get my hands on. Also the one I talked about, the Egyptian Tarot by the Kier publishing house from Argentina, I think it is. Sure, I would keep the Rider-Waite, I would keep Marseille, I would keep Thoth, which are the basic systems, and you can start the world back up from those, right? It does influence me because it's tarot, is like a moral compass, an ethical compass. It has the teachings, it has the themes, it has the virtues, it has the warnings, it has the different aspects of the self and of their life, the material side, spiritual side. So it's a beautiful guide, a little bit more of reflection before I act. I don't think so, because my process of learning tarot was very mine, was very free. I did not, submit to a school or a dogma or anything. I kind of avoided that, so I made my own way, and I used my own criterion to discern and find information. So I think I did it rightly for me, and that's how I would go about it again. I tend to see it as a third way, one idea, another idea in opposition, and then a third way that comes out of that opposition. Where both win, a win-win solution, not an imposition, but rather a balance, both finding an agreement and allowing for a third idea, a new idea to come out of those two initial stances or elements. So yes, it could be interpreted as a growth, for instance, or a creativity, or a neutral thing emerging, a third way. And that is not me, my drive, or your drive, pushing back and forth, but allowing a harmony and something else to be produced. So that's my take on the Three of Swords. Right now, besides me, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I have 2 more over there. So it's 8. So right now with me, I have 8 decks. but I have more elsewhere. Definitely Vincent Petici, but he is sadly passed. And I had the pleasure to speak to him or interact with him a couple of times in one of the meetings that he hosted online only. And sadly, I could not meet him in person or for a longer time. So if I could, I would. Write about any time is good. Sometimes when you wake up, or when I wake up in the morning, the day starts rolling and I don't really have the time. But when I do, I find it easy and nice just to sit around with the cards and draw a card or make a few spreads and think about it and plan the day accordingly. It's nice. Also at the end of the day, in the middle of the day, after lunch, I mean, whenever I get to have some quiet, free time, it's for me, it's a leisure thing as well when it's personal. So anytime at night, in the middle of the night, late at night, just any time is good. I don't really believe in it. Is that fair to say? And then I do really believe in it. It's just, I don't have a dogma. That's what I mean to say. So, what moves the cards? I don't know. And frankly, I don't care. The fact is that, you pull a card and, well, what makes that card come up? I don't know. But the thing is that it came up and you got to deal with it. And that's it. So let's be tarot friends, and I hope to see more videos.